Thank you for joining us. This is the Traders Exclusive Live Trader Showcase. I'm Sherry. Please check out tradersexclusive.com, where we regularly post articles and video clips with valuable trading tips and techniques. So before we get started, I will share the quick disclaimer. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Norman Hallett of the Disciplined Trader, also known as Subconscious Training Corporation, he's going to talk about their money, your profit, the facts on prop trading. From 1981 to 1988, Norman ran one of the largest options firms in the country and later worked as a commodity specialist for Payne Weber. And in 1991, he formed the Hallett Group, managing large trading account for investors, individual investors, as a commodity trading advisor. He currently owns and operates the Disciplined Trader, founded in 2000, where he focuses on helping traders with the too often neglected art of mental and emotional control and the building of simple trading plans. TM, that you've got a trademarked program called Simple Trading Plans, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and Mr. Hallett is a popular speaker at trading expos and countless international venues, and he has over 1 million views of his 4-minute drills for traders, which you can find on YouTube, where he gives tips and techniques for being a more successful trader. And I believe there is a huge part of your team missing from this. Your wife is a big part of your business and for making everything successful, right?
Absolutely. She's the really the creative end of it in our mental and emotional work with traders. You know, we've got kind of two sides. One is the mental and emotional, which is the basis of what we do, and then there's the simple trading plans, which really help the mental part as well as incorporate some of the things that we teach. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Sherry.
Thanks for being here.
I just wanted people to see the viewers here to see how simple my charts look. I have several charts that I take a look at, but I want you to just see I use a couple of moving averages, a little RSI action, and that is it in my trading plans, and we've got a lot of success. So I wanted to show you really the simplicity of what we do in case you find that to be something that you want to get involved in at the end, because I'm going to offer you something that I think you may want to take advantage of. But right now, I want to just focus in on my new love, and that is prop trading. I've kind of narrowed down the success path. I call it the profit pipeline, because everything needs a cute name. So the profit pipeline is kind of where what I've called this particular presentation that's brand new. But I wanted to really, the people here that are listening to this, or if you're listening on recording, you're not familiar with prop trading. The simple definition is that you're trading somebody else's money and getting 90% of the profit with most prop trading firms, 70, 80, 90%. And you know, it almost doesn't sound real, but the very small fees that they charge in order to test for prop trading, etc., they add up, even though they're very, very small. I'm going to show you some of the math. I want to give you some of the math here today. I'm not going to overwhelm you. If you're into math, you'll find it fairly simple. If you're not into math, you may find it I wish you slowed down a little bit, but remember that I just want you to get the idea of prop trading, and that it is real. In fact, it is very, very real, and that's why I have decided to focus really my attention on helping traders to get through the prop trading pipeline so that you start getting that money into your account. Let's begin with that brief introduction. First of all, I want to put this up here. If at any time, not during, but after this presentation, if you've got a question for me, just write to admin@thedisciplinedtrader.com. This way, you can ask your question. If I'm not going to receive it directly, sometimes I do when the staff is out, they'll forward it right to me. Just ask any question you want, mention my name, and they'll get it to me. I'm very into responding to interest, because I think if you show me interest, it's only right for me to respond in kind. All right, so I wanted to give you that, but I want you to ask yourself the question: what is your eventual prop trading goal? What do you want out of prop trading? Um, I'm going to just give you about 30 seconds to kind of answer that, and maybe throw it in the chat so I can get an idea. Make sure I'm going in the right direction. Okay, consistent income. That's what most people want, and that's certainly what I want out of it as somebody who's eventually going to retire. I just keep on asking me, when are you going to retire? I don't think ever, because especially now with prop trading, just showing people how to do this is really a thrill for me. And of course, I get to benefit too from my own trading. But in any event, I want you to kind of understand why you're here, why you have an interest in prop trading, and of course, not just short term, but what you want out of in the end. Because in general, I want you to look at this as a business, as a business. I don't want you to, and I don't mean you need to take out. You may not need an accountant and so on. You're going to need it in the end if you start making the kind of money that you're capable of making. But I want you to frame this in your mind as a business, so that when you do take a loss here and there, as in any system, that you'll realize that it's just really like placing an advertisement in a newspaper or magazine that didn't work out for your business. You know what not to do. So you learn from your mistakes in trading. In any event, don't want to get too deep down that rabbit hole, but I also want you to understand what your biggest obstacle is. What is stopping you? If you're prop trading now, what is stopping you from being the best prop trader you can be? And if you're not prop trading, what's holding you back from considering it? And I just want to take a look at a couple of those responses here. Okay, great. Riley, thank you so much. I'm getting a good concept here of what this is going to lead to for you. Okay, let's get going. My name again is Norman Hallett. I graduated from the University of Cincinnati with a degree in mathematics. During that time, I went to the University of Cincinnati because they had work study. I could work my way through college, and it's a kind of a 5-year program and for your undergraduate, and that's what I did. Worked my way as a waiter in the restaurant business, became the head waiter at the Prime and Wine, and then I was opening restaurants in other cities. That was in Cincinnati, Ohio. But I got out of that business because food was not where the money was. It was the liquor where the money was. So I was I was hired by American Events Corporation, who put together something called Park Avenue, which was supposed to be the main contender for Studio 54. It was during the late 70s. Okay, that's how old I am. But that was a real experience. It was, had the big dance floor, had the smoke floor, $1,000 membership a year. It was a big time. Never quite reached the Studio 54. I don't think we had enough drugs to be at that level. But it did get tiring. You can't stay in that business for long. So after about a year and a half, I decided I would take my math degree and do something with it. And what I did was I realized my brother was big on Harry Brown. He was a gold bug, and I got into gold and silver. And within about 2.5 years of entering this business, I was running one of the largest option firms in the country, the home office, where I had 60 traders under me that were responsible for being profitable for those individuals who gave them money to trade, to be profitable. And when they didn't do well, they would be in my office. And oftentimes the issue was too complicated a trading plan. I would take my red pen out and say, I know you have it in you. You've done well before. Take out, you don't need an MACD and an RSI, So I've learned how to deal with not only professional traders, but traders who are coming up and need to at least act like a professional trader, do the money management and risk management approaches that professional traders have. Okay, no need to sit in an office. Now you can do this at home. Actually, this was not a picture of the actual office. This was something that was very similar that I found online. But eventually I was bought out by Payne Weber, who wanted me to, as a commodity trading advisor, trade for large accounts. And I did that for a couple of years until I realized half the job was selling, because you weren't trading all day, and they wanted me to get on the phone and sell. And I just am not, as you can see from this presentation, probably not the greatest salesperson in the world, but I'm a pretty good trader. I've written several books in my experience on how to build trading plans. I guess my experience that I show you here really got me to understand what a good trading plan was and what doesn't work. So I've written several books. This one is still available on Amazon. Books have been written about me. I started The Disciplined Trader in 2000 because really the issue was the mental and emotional part of trading for a lot of traders. Many of them had pretty good trading plans, but they just couldn't get their heads together. And so my wife, who Sherry was kind enough to mention, who I don't mention enough, is the heartbeat of our mental and emotional side of the business. Won't be talking much about that today, but I wanted you to know that if you're having issues, use that email address that I gave you. We've got short and more in-depth courses on how to help your mind in professional ways and in proven ways. So, but really, in the last 3 years, 2.5 years, my focus has been on this prop trading, and I've reserved their money, yourprofit.com, and I'll be building an institute around that, because I really believe that the small trader especially should be looking at this because of the lack of risk factor and the lower cortisol level that you have when you're not risking your own tight money in many cases. On the other hand, it always surprised me, still surprises me, that it's the large traders, those that are trading 100, 200,000, that put that in a treasury bill or something that they can be sure of getting 4, 5, or 6% on, and they'll utilize the prop trading firm's money. Why risk your own money? So it's for really everybody that understands the value of what I'm about to go through, at least the math about it. Okay, enough introduction. I wanted to let you know that I did a study on prop trading firms. I commissioned a young genius who I'll mention a little bit later. His name is Brady, and I told him, here's the parameters I want. Go out there, find me the 7 biggest trading firms, prop trading firms, and compare and contrast them in different aspects, different ways. And I won't go through all those ways, except for to say the most important ones were: how long have they been in business? Are they increasing the amount of payouts that they're making? I need to know that they'll be around, and I need to know that they're growing. Okay. The winner of this, now, if you want this study, there's that email address again, admin@thedisciplinedtrader.com. Just email us or email me at this email address, and I will make sure that you get a copy of this study, because it's, of course, unreadable the way you see it. I want you to have it so that you can see for yourself the parameters that I use. But let me show you the winner. There was actually 2 winners. One is Top Step, excuse me, and the other is Apex, which I've been doing most of my business with. Although I've passed the category, I've been working with both of them from a standpoint of having started with them, going through the evaluation stage, money from them, and so on. But I've decided that Apex is likely your best choice. I figured it was my best choice, so I'm bringing it out to you. But compare it yourself when you see that. And one of the things that I noticed, I noticed they keep updating, but their average monthly compensation since January of 2023, now that's about, what is that, 16 months, 17 months, 17 months now, we're on the 18th month, almost $11 million in that period of time. And in their history, they've put out $178 million. It's getting close to $200 million since almost their inception in 2022. But what I find interesting here is that in the last 90 days, they've paid out 73 million of this 178 over that 2.5-year period of time. So they are growing, and they're growing fast. Okay, so I like Apex. I've been seeing consistent payouts in my account and those that I train. So I want you to consider Apex as a possibility for you. But again, do your own comparison. Here is a zoom in of that chart, of the Apex version of that chart. And I want to focus on the $50,000 approach. In other words, you can test for any of these amounts. Even though I think there may be better math around the 150 and 250, I like the 50 because I think it's the simplest to pass. And what I want for you is to get that first $1,000 or $500 or $2,000 in your account. I want you to see that it's real. When they, the first time I asked for $1,000, and when I had enough, and I'm going to show you how to get there in that in the road to getting money into your account. And it appeared in my account, $1,000. I called my bank and I said, "Is this real? Can I spend this money?" And they said, "Yes, it's real." So, and of course, it's been real ever since. But the idea is that it's almost hard to believe that they're going to allow you to. They'll actually, the Apex gives you 100% of the first 25,000 you profit in a $50,000 account. And we're going to get into it later, but many have 10 and 20 $50,000 accounts, and you have a limit in each of those accounts of you get the 100% of the first 25,000 in each of those accounts. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that in a second, but I want to concentrate on this, and just to let you know that in this, they've listed as $167 right now a month to pass the $50,000. And to pass, you need to make $3,000 before you lose $2,500. I'm going to get back to that in a second, but I want to also tell you that it's not $167 right now. It's $16.70 a month, and it shouldn't take you more than a month to pass, even the first time around. And if you don't pass, you'll pay another $16.70. So, the fees are small for this testing. I wrote a paper recently on last year already, on the death of simulated trading. I mean, if you're simulated trading, why simulate it and then come to this and test yourself here? Why not get right into this for the small fees that you're dealing with? Anyway, but I want to tell you that it's like any other trading. 90% of traders struggle with prop trading, as well as maybe there's a 5% difference. I really think there may be that 85% of traders struggle with prop trading, as opposed to the 90% that struggle with trading their own money. And it's because of that, again, that mental thing that you need to approach and adjust and realize about yourself and correct. And I've done a lot of that in the trading plan that I'm going to offer you. I'm going to give you some tips, if you never see me again, on how to help your trading plan reflect more of an ease for your mental and emotional state. You'll see what I mean in a second. But I do want to point out that you've got to make $3,000. So this $50,000 has to be $53,000, okay, before you back up 2,500 from your open trade high. Now, what I mean by that, and I don't want to get too confusing here. I just wanted to say that in general, when you're trading on your own, if you have you start with $50,000 and you make $1,000 open trade, but don't take it, and you put in a break-even stop, and it comes back down, and you still have 50 and hits your stop, and you still have $50,000 in your account. That may not seem like a big deal when you're trading your own money, but to these people and to most prop trading firms, it is a big deal. They don't want you letting go of that money. Professional trader, when they have $1,000, they have $1,000, they have a 2% gain in a position, okay, they're not going to let that go, okay, and so you need to adjust your trading plan to honor open trade equity. So what I'm saying is that in my example, where in your own account, if you went from 50,000 to 51,000 and the market came back to 50,000, you'd be even, you'd feel, okay, I'm even, yeah, I should have taken the profit. But here they hold it against you, and they hold it against you. So instead of now having a $50,000 account where you have a drawdown of 2,500, now because you let go of that $1,000, that drawdown limit is now 1,500. So you need to do something, adjust your trading plan. We're going to show you the basic rule to do that, so that you can capture some of that money and still get more what I call lewd and lascivious profits. So I'm going to show you how that's done in a second, but I wanted to make sure that you understand that it's important not to let go of open trade profit, okay? And here is I want you to use this URL. It is my personal URL. I negotiated with Apex to make sure that you get your best your best advertised or unadvertised deal on this. Right now it's $16.70 for everybody. Sometimes they have unadvertised special that they give to people like me that talk about them in a positive way, and they honor that by allowing me to give you a link like this to point you toward the best deal. So the disciplintrader.com/Apex, use that. That will always drive you to your best deal. You may not see it till the absolute last page, but please do use it. It's for you for attending this session, whether I see you or not again. Okay, here's the 3 phases of prop trading. I'm going to see what time I have. Okay, we've got some time here. Evaluation phase, where, well, the evaluation phase is pretty simple. You've got to make $3,000 before you lose $2,500, or in the way I explain it to you, that's how it starts out. It's that $2,500 follows you, so you've got to be a little bit careful when you start out. You don't want to go below 47,500, right? That's 2,500 below the 50,000. And as you gain, if you gain a solid $1,000 and go to 51,000, now that line is 48.5. So you want to pass. You want to, once you reach $53,001, then you have now, you'll get an email that congratulates you. You'll get a little digital plaque for yourself to hang up on your wall, and now you will be granted the $50,000 of real money to trade, where when you get over, in fact, in the phase of the funded phase, you actually only have to get to 52.6 in order to start asking for money. We'll get to that in a second. But the funded phase is a phase where you're trying to get over that hump of 50,000 would be 52.6. Don't worry about the numbers right now, but you got to make money in the funded phase before they let you start taking it out, okay? But in the end, what you want to have is a consistent income phase. And as you take, the idea is you want to take as little money as you can when you're trading the funded account. You want to take as little money out so that you can develop that distance between that red line. And the great thing about the funded phase is that it doesn't follow you, that red line, okay? It's at 50,100 and at the point of 52.6, and after that, it doesn't follow you. Enough with that number. Just understand that you have to be cognizant of the risk as you're going. But once you've surpassed $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 of profit in a $50,000 account, then you're heading toward what I believe is your consistent income phase. Okay, so let's get deeper into each phase. Okay, I hope I'm not losing you here, but I do want to, give you the advantage of what I've learned and what I've learned from coaching others to get where you want to go. Now I'm gonna offer you something in a second where you and I can hold hands and I'll take you through it. I think you're going to want to be involved in that, but that's going to be up to you. But I want to give you the primary information in case you're trying to do this on your own, okay? Or you're struggling. Strugglers, these tips I'm going to give you, I believe are really going to help you. How do I know? Because I've coached struggling prop traders, and these are the things this is what I'm highlighting here. Okay, again, in the evaluation phase, you've got to make that 50,000 to 53,000. Okay, and you can't go below that 2,500 below your open trade high. I think I explained a little bit of it. That don't worry about that. You don't want to start back. You want to keep moving ahead, and you want to do it in a responsible way. Okay, you want to have a scalping element to your trading plan in order to stay away from that red line. I call that 2,500 the red line. Okay, you want to have a scalping element. Why? Because in my example, if you had taken on 2 positions of whatever that was, say it's silver, which is something really love to trade right now, and you have $1,000 profit in each one of those positions, go ahead and take the profit on one, leave the other one if you want for lewd and lascivious, and you really shouldn't let it go back down to 0. But if it did go back down to break even, okay, you've taken 1,000 to pad yourself from that red line, but you've also given up 1,000 to bring that red line closer, but it's a wash. I think you understand what I'm saying. So Having a scalping element to your trading plan, I believe, is key to an easy slide, okay, to the long-term income that you want out of prop trading. Okay, so you want to have a scalping element. That's all I'll say about it right now. There's more to say about the kind of scalping, where you take the scalp, and so on. I've never been a scalper in my all of my years until 2.5 years ago when I started doing this. I realized that if you're not a scalper, the ride is a lot tougher because you got to give yourself room, and because of that red line that follows you. Okay, enough about that for now. Okay, you can open an account for, they say $167 in Apex, but it's really anywhere from $16.70 to 3 times that. And the reason I say that is they are always running 70, 80, or 90% discounts from that 167. Okay, and in fact, there has not been a day this year where they have not run a special. So forget about this. This is just to tell you how great a deal it is. It's like somebody telling you they're going to mail you something and give it to you in 2 weeks, and it arrives in 1 week, and you say how great they are. It's never going to be 167. It's always going to be something smaller, okay, in that range. And if you bust out, you can reset the account. Now, normally it's $80 to reset the account. What does that mean? If you bust out the account, you can pay them $80 and they'll reset the account. All of a sudden, you've got $50,000 again to test with. Again, this is the testing phase, okay? Now, right now, they're running a special, and they usually do. Most of the time during this year, it's been half that, so it's $40, okay? So you've got to do the math. Are you better off closing a busted account and opening a new one if it's $16, or better off busting or just resetting it? Small detail, but don't worry about it. I'm just showing you the low cost there is to get into this and give it a try for yourself, because the fruits of your labor are more quickly paid off here than they are in anything that I've seen. Now, it's very inexpensive to test, as I've mentioned. So being aggressive, actually, for an experienced trader, and I should put that in the copy here, it's very important to be aggressive only for the experienced trader. The reason I say that is that it doesn't help you. You don't want to be aggressive in the other phases, but it's because of the low cost of this. You can take on some big positions and bust out and pay another $40, bust out again and pay another $40. And they don't like you doing that, and it's not a really great way to do it. But I am saying that for an experienced trader, that may be an alternative. I don't want to see new traders do it. I want you to learn how to do it right so that you can take what you learned through all of the phases. But I have had some success with the more aggressive traders out there and showing them how to be more aggressive in this phase. Once you have reached 53,000 and $1, you've got one decision to make, and that decision is, now that you're funded, you're going to be funded within 24 hours. And when you're funded, you have a choice of paying them $80 a month till the end, forever in that funded account. And so each month you're paid $80. Your trading platform is free. They'll give you NinjaTrader if you don't have it, and your data feed is free. The only expense that you're going to have, in fact, through all of these phases, but when you're in the phase we're about to come up to, the funded phase, it's $80 a month or $140, and then you never have another cost for the lifetime of that account. As much as you take in, doesn't matter. You're never going to pay a fee to them after. Okay, so you have the choice. You're either going to have less confidence in your trading plan and do it for $80 a month, or you're going to have the kind of confidence that you really should have your trading plan. Really, the only choice is the lifetime. So now you've paid $140. Maybe you've paid $140 or $200 if you had to reset a couple of times. So for $240, now you're sitting there with a $50,000 account that now you're going to get 90%, actually 100% of the first 25,000, 90% of what you generate after that. Okay. Let's take a look at the second phase. Now we're in the funded phase. I hope you're enjoying this. Hope I'm not going too fast. You've got to get to 52.6, not 53,000. I don't know why they do that, but and the red line at 52.6 is going to be 50,100, right? That 2,500. But as you continue to progress 53,000, 55,000, 65,000, 75,000. That red line stays at 50,100. It doesn't follow you. And that's going to be important to understand for this phase as well as phase 3, okay? The forever income phase, okay? So you've got to, before you can start withdrawing, you've got to reach 52.6, okay? Now that the line does follow you in there, and if you bust out, you've got to go back and to the evaluation stage and do that again. So you really don't want to waste time. It's not a lot of money you're wasting here. You're wasting time and money. Look, money is money. So if you bust out, you don't want to do that, okay? So if you bust out, you revert to the evaluation phase. You really need to trade conservatively from here on in, okay? And you want to build confidence as your account builds, 3 days out of 4, etc. You're going to have a day where it doesn't happen. But we've had real big streaks on the positive side, but you don't want to count on that. You want to, when you have a bad day or a bad trade, you don't want it to hurt you. You want to be able to have 3 or 4 or 5 bad trades and still be in the game strongly. So you want to defend yourself, because the more confidence you have that you're going to win, the more you'll pull the trigger where you should pull the trigger. Okay, again, the mental part. Okay, when you withdraw, when you get over that 52.6, you can withdraw anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Now, you can withdraw $500 to $2,000, but if you withdraw, and that's the limit, $2,000. So if you draw, say, $1,000 a month for a few months in a row, after 3 months, there is no limit. But they want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Okay, and so that they keep the withdrawals down, and it's a good thing not to withdraw in the beginning, because again, you want to build that equity and move as far as you can from that 50,100 pricing. Okay, so you want to withdraw small. Okay, you want to be conservative with your withdrawals. Your primary goal is to build equity, and again, it's limited to 2,000 in the beginning, but it's unlimited after 3 months of, even if you withdraw $500 for 3 months in a row, you can that ceiling will be lifted. Okay, you can withdraw twice a month. Incidentally, you can withdraw on the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month. There's actually a range of dates from the 1st to the 5th, the 15th to the 20th. You can request money from them every month. So I think you're better off requesting $500 twice a month than $1,000 once a month. Why? Because it's, again, I'm always looking to leave as much equity as I can. In the beginning, really try not to take money if you don't have to. But actually, the first time, I want you to take some money. I want you to take $500 or $1,000. I want that money in your account so that you can see that it's real. Okay, so that's the end of once you're moving, once you're getting going, once you're in the I can take money out account. Now you've cleared from that red line. So then this next phase is what I call the consistent income phase, and I want you to understand it, not because I want you to. This is where your vision should be. This is where you're going. So when you think of taking a trade that's a B minus, B plus, even an A minus trade in the other stages, you're going to hold back, because this is where you want to go. You want to stick to your A plus trades, okay, and your A plus setups. But if you withdraw 3 consecutive months, again, there's no limit to the amount that you can withdraw. Apex is actually adjusting it right now to 2 consecutive months. They're actually polling all of us users. They're really starting to make it easier and easier for us, okay? So why do they want to do that? Because they want a certain number of people like me to brag about them, and this way it's going to draw, say 100 people in, of which 85 or 90 are just going to pay them fees over time. And so they want those people that are making, and there are some people taking out 100,000 a month from this, not just one. So when you start to get good at this, I'm going to show you some techniques that you may want to consider if you're going to vision in that range. But I have to say that this is real, and in order for it to be real from you, you got to get your head together, and you have to have the right trading plan. And I think if you're smart, you'll have somebody like me move you through it, that have had success in this, okay, that we can work one-on-one on this, okay? So the goal after no limit is achieved is to continue to build the account to keep the minimum withdrawals so that you can, so that these $2,000 to $5,000 biweekly withdrawals can continue even through less successful trading periods. What I'm saying here is that if you can build that $50,000 account to 65, 70, 80 by taking minimum withdrawals, now you've got an $80,000 account that you're trading. And the red line is still at 50,100. So now you can go a little bit bigger. You can use the same process, but now you can expand a little bit and really start making the kind of money that some of these people are making. So you need to be as conservative as you can all along the way. You want to build to that 60, 70,000, 80, so that you have plenty of room from the red line, okay? Because once you're there, and also what I'm saying here, even most importantly, is if you have a month that you can't trade, okay, but you've built it to 70,000, you can still take out your $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, something that you've allotted for yourself every month in your plan to build your $1 million through this. So I'm saying that once you build it out, that's where the magic really starts. So keep your eye focused on this and don't be so inundated with the numbers other than your trading plan and how to follow it and keep that risk to a minimum. Okay. Now, after your success, you can choose to build an account or two. You can choose to build an account or two or try trade copier. What I'm saying here, that's lousy wording. I should have. Most of the people who are making the big money are trading at least 10 of these $50,000 accounts, or even 20. They allow you as many as 20 accounts. Okay, and each one of those accounts you can take as many as 10 positions, 10 actual. You can actually take 10 E-mini contracts in NASDAQ. You wouldn't want to, but I'm just saying they don't skimp on those that want to be aggressive. I'm not that person. I don't think you should be. I just want you to know that it is the multiple accounts, and the way they do it is if they have 5 accounts or 10 accounts and you make $300 trade, one trade, you stop. Because now you've made $3,000 in those 10 accounts. And they use what they call a trade copier. So let's take a closer look at what that means. Okay, let's say you and I'm working on this right now. What's the best way to diversify these many accounts for you? If you haven't started yet, don't worry about it. If you've been struggling and you haven't had 1 or 2 accounts for very long, don't worry about it. I want to give you an idea of where it's possible to go, and it's really possible if you stick to the principles of proper trading. Okay, if you this is my example I just gave you. You make 1 trade, and this is what a lot of the people do. Okay, a lot of the big earners do. They'll trade for 10 minutes a day. They'll find a trade, or they'll spend an hour looking for the best trade. And this is the futures market I'm talking about. Most of these prop firms focus on the futures market. There are options prop firms. There are forex prop firms. I don't deal with them. You can look them up, but these same techniques probably will work for you. But in this particular case, if you have $10,000, $50,000 accounts, one way to do it is to just make 1 trade and make it happen. And really, if the first trade is bad, is a loss, these people, and I've interviewed a couple of them, what they do is they keep trading small risk, and they trade 2 or 3 times more until they get this, and it seems to somehow always happen for them. $3,000, okay, is from 1 trade, they walk away, and that's it. Okay, now I'm a guy that likes to diversify. Okay, I don't like the same thing in every account. So what if I just took 2 different 2 different strengths? In other words, I say I took 3 contracts in 5 of the accounts, and only let's say 4 contracts in 5 of the accounts, and only 2 in the other. Same trade, but different position sizing. Well, maybe I didn't make as much money as the person before, but I think in the negative part, I would have done better if the trade didn't work. So diversifying by position size is something that I'm working on. Also, you can divide these 10 accounts into 3 different trades. 1 trade for 3. Here's the losing trade that I put in 4 of the accounts, and but still, with that mixed diversification, you make $1,600 on a day like today with just a couple of trades. So all I'm saying is that different trades in the same time period. There are different ways of diversifying. I just want to give you a flash into your future, okay, so that you can see this is a real thing. Advantages for those with limited time to trade. That's what I like about this. I like to spend as little time as I can. I do find myself sometimes sitting in front of the computer 3-4 hours. That's just me loving trading. But many times, like today, I don't have that time. I've got 2 presentations today. One is a different kind of presentation, but this particular this particular presentation is really for you to understand that there is a future for you, and this is kind of going to be what it looks like. Okay, can you be more aggressive with a few? Maybe you'll have some questions, and we can discuss that down the line if you want me to help you with that. So I want to bring this all together and show you what I got for you, and still give you a couple of points while I'm doing this. Again, the prop trading firms are going to allow you to trade 50,000, 100,000, 300,000. Right now, I'm working on a few $250,000 accounts. I've got 800,000 funded. I'm looking for more. That's $250,000 accounts. They just did a deal on those. So I'm dealing with those to try to coach others who have jumped on it. So it's my job to be in the background working with these and help you to get forward with any questions. This is what it looks like when you pass. Okay, you pass. When you get through the evaluation stage, this is what it looks like. And these are where I've got 7 $50,000 accounts and 3 150s. And this is what it looks like. Here's the first time I took $1,000 back in May of last year. This is hanging up on my wall right now. You can't see it, but you know, when you're in the restaurant business, you put up your first $5, $10, $20 on. Well, we put $1 so it's not stolen. But this is hang up. So I got that habit. But you know, every time they're going to give you a certificate every time you take something out. Okay. So again, I passed with Top Step also, but I have all my accounts now with Apex. All right. Here's what my offer is to you that I'd like to give you a little detail on. It's the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan. Okay. It has a core loaded gun plan, which is really just 2 or 3. It's really just a couple of short videos. All of the videos in the core don't take an hour and a half. You can learn my entire trading plan. You saw how simple my charts are. And this is the key to consistent, profitable trading, I believe, are using the few indicators and testing triggers so that you get that fast jump. Okay, so that you can take your scalp. Remember I said that scalp is important. So what I focused on was finding a couple of triggers, a few triggers that I have tested that get off to a nice start. Whether they go on is another thing. That happens too. But I want that scalp, and you know, that momentum is what leads to other. And I show you how to follow that up and defend what you're making on the bigger position. But I always take on 2 positions, okay? But I'm going to teach you all of this. I'm going to teach you the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan, okay? You get the videos, all the rules fit on one sheet of paper. Where you get in, where you get out, very simple, okay? We also have what I call nuances, and I just want to take 60 seconds on this. Nuances, remember, my roots are in the mental and emotional part of trading. It really is the issue for most traders. So it's great to have a simple trading plan, but if you're out of control, that's not going to work for you either. These are nuances. These are small optional changes that you can make, adjustments to the trading plan to fit who you are. What do I mean by that? My accountant, for instance, he's a trader, and he needs 5 or 6 or 7 different hoops to jump before he'll take a trade. I can't trade like that. I need simple. I'd rather be in with a small exposure and in more of the time than waiting for something perfect that's never going to happen and frustrates you, so you start chasing trades. So I've got a nuance for somebody who is an active kind of a trader, who's like me, who likes to be in the market. I've also got a nuance to change, to adjust the trading plan if you're a more conservative person but still get trades on. In other words, one of the things that I would suggest you do is not just look at one market, look at several markets if you're somebody that needs a lot of hoops jumped. This way you're going to have more opportunities, things like that. I want to show you the nuances. There are 7 of them currently. These nuance videos are 10 to 15 minutes long, and I'm testing 2 others right now, but the idea is that these are, instead of you trying to be more control, for you to be more patient. Okay, if you're not a patient trader, that's not going to help you. You got to wait for the signal. If you're not a patient trader, I've got a nuance for you that's going to help you. Okay, and so that's all to say about nuance, other than to say, rather than you training your mind, which we help you to do also in a different program, rather than doing that, and you really should do that, it's nice to have a program that fits you rather than you trying to fit the program. Okay, so that's all I'll say about the nuances. We invented this. I see a lot of places trying to take it on, but they don't have the depth of the mental and emotional piece that we have. So this is really a special piece. Okay, monthly get-togethers every last Wednesday of the month. We all get together, all the owners of the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan, and we share our experiences, what's been happening, some of the successes. The new people may have a struggle. I don't know what to do with this. What happens when this happens? What do you do? And there are traders that are more experienced literally than I am, and that's hard to do with my experience over 4 decades. There are professional traders, there are floor traders, and when they buy Loaded Gun, they're always saying, why don't I just get back to what really worked for me in the old days? And that's what I'm doing here. This stuff really works, but with the nuance, with what will make it fit for you with prop trading. I mean, the dream of trading somebody else's money and getting 90% of the profit is a real dream. You have to just line up the ducks in a row. Okay, you got to get the right trading plan that honors who you are. This is what I'm showing you here, and you've got to have the mental capacity to mental control to do that, and I've tried to build that for you in this trading plan. So we have the monthly get-togethers. We'll give you any updates on the trading plan, because I'm always improving it, little tweaks, maybe another. Again, we're looking at 2 other nuances. Listen, when something works, you don't like to change it. I don't like to change things that work, but every once in a while, something will happen. And the latest one was something suggested by a user, a professional trader who's using exclusively Loaded Gun now, and he threw in something that I tested quickly and then deeply, and now it's part of the plan. I'm just saying that we're all working together on this. We're all getting to the same place. I'd love to work with you on it if you're ready to go. So just in April, a couple months ago, Mike wrote and said, I passed the Apex $100,000 valuation in 4 days, trading the Loaded Gun, mostly scalping, but a few runners brought it home. I still have a few trading days to finish, but I made $6,000 in 4 days this week. Great trading plan. Thanks so much. Mike I'm not going to call him a professional trader, but he's a very good trader. I don't suggest, first of all, that people start with the 100,000. Again, I like you to start with the 50,000. Why? Because it's the easiest road to getting money in your account. $3,000, then 2,600 you have to make, and then you can start asking for money. And once you see the money in your account and you take your significant other to dinner and you say, this is from my work with prop trading, it all becomes real. Then you start to get really serious about, I'm getting goosebumps. You're getting really serious about this, okay? So Mike was a good trader on his own before, and he was mostly a scalper before, so it wasn't odd that he would say mostly scalping, but he also let some go, like I've asked him to do, because listen, we're not in this just to, those big trades can happen in current markets, and they do. So I like to have that other position where it can run for you. Norman and Tisha, and thank you, Sherry, for bringing my wife into this all the time. I don't do it enough, but she's the mental and emotional part of this. Even though it's not specifically involved in this particular product that I'm talking about, she's influenced its development, okay? I'm making some progress now. I really credit your guidance with your voice in my head. I now have 3 funded accounts with Apex and requested my first small payout from 2 of those accounts yesterday. She's done a lot more than this. She's like my star trader. And when she took it out, I said, only take out I want you to take out, but only $500. And that's what she did. And of course, things have moved on for her. Just terrific. She was a pretty decent trader before, but man, now she's I'm not going to say on steroids, because she's even increased her 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 positivity. In any event, here's the first bonus. This is what I've been talking about. I want to help you to do this. Unlimited one-on-one coaching for 90 days. As soon as you invest in the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan, you're going to get an email with a calendar link. You'll be able to schedule your first personalized one-on-one walkthrough with me, not an assistant, me, and I'll proceed to learn about your trading background and advise you how to get a quick start with your new purchase. And as you perfect the running of the plan, I'm going to be there if you need me with as many one-on-one coaching sessions in that 90-day period as you need to pass your evaluation and beyond. Okay, I'm going to be there every step of the way for you. Now, I want to make two comments. One is that it's 90 days of coaching with me, one-on-one. What usually happens is we have 1 or 2 meetings. That's all you're going to need to get on your way. A newer trader may need more meetings, or somebody who's into that, and that's okay. We can have more meetings, but I'm saying that the vast majority just need 1 or 2 meetings with me. What you want to do is look at the videos, look at a couple of the more latest get-togethers, get some of the new stuff that we've put in. It's very simple, and then make your first meeting. When you make that first meeting with me, after you've already reviewed all of the videos, that's when the 90 days start. So if you have a vacation coming on this month, or you won't be here for don't worry about it. Look at the video. Purchase now, because there's only a limited number. I can only take 5 people right now. So look at the videos, do it now, look at the videos, and then start the one-on-one whenever you want. So come to the Wednesdays too, but the one-on-one starts when we have our first meeting. I want you to know that. I don't want you to resist this or talk yourself out of it because the next month, the next few weeks, you're doing something, okay? Because these spots don't come up all the time, okay? I mean, they do 1 or 2 at a time, but as I said, probably I'm sure that all 5 is going to be taken from this event, because I want, listen, having somebody help you with this is really what you want to try to do if you can do it, okay? Please share with your wife that since funding my first Apex $50,000 account last Thursday, and 5 more 2 days later this Tuesday, on those 10 funded accounts, he's profitable. Ken was profitable $21,000 in real money. He only trades the NASDAQ. Now, I don't do that. I showed you all the charts that I trade. I do it a little bit differently, but we're both using the same system, okay? Both using Loaded Gun. I'm working on 5 or more to get funded. God has so richly blessed me. Look, I've got, when you go to the offer page, you're going to see plenty of testimonials, but I chose this one not because he's a believer in God, and that's a great thing. That's a good thing. I suggest it, but I wanted to show the gratitude part, and I think as you move along, he's been talking about thanking God, thanking me. You've got to have gratitude for what you're doing, and then when you misstep, it's okay. Brush yourself off, get back up. But understand that when you have the right process, when you have the right trading plan, and you have the right guidance, one-on-one with me, guidance type thing, you're going to get where you want to go faster, more than likely. I'm sure Ken did, and he's a more aggressive trader. I mean, right out of the box, he was trying to. He had 10 funded accounts. So wherever you are, I can help understand who you are and guide you how to make that. You saw that room of 60 traders, okay? And here's my second bonus. I want to set it up for you, a data feed to, when you sign up for this, you're going to have your Ninja Trader, if you don't have set up, or whatever your platform, and you're going to have to bring in that data feed. I can do all that for you. It took me 10 days to do it. Apex and Top Step have a more advanced setup. Could be confusing to some tech challenge traders. It took me 10 days to set it up. So I'll connect you with my young genius, who I mentioned before, who did that study. He also is an expert on Ninja Trader and setting all this up. In 10 minutes, he'll jump into your computer. It's a $150 service that we have. He'll jump into your computer and he'll set it all up for you. You just watch him do it. And here's somebody that did. Roger actually paid the $150 and loved it. He said, all in all, really went well. He's obviously skilled. His cursor went back and forth without any explanation. Ended up feeling like I had gotten a bar. I'm going to give this to you. I don't want you to, if you're interested in, look, let's get going. Let's see if this is for you or not. I believe it can be. If you're being drawn into this, make your decision to make this happen, okay? And here's my personal guarantee. Okay, I'm so confident that you're following the loaded gun simple trading plan is going to result in you getting funded by your prop firm so that you risk their money and not yours and still receive 90% of the profit you generate. I'll just share your trading experience. Show me the trades that you've made. Make, that you follow the system. And if it didn't work for you, I'm going to not only refund your money, but give you $500 extra for your trouble. Why? Because I'm not going to have to do it. But I hold it out here just so that you know that if this trading plan is followed and doesn't work for you, you're going to get your money. Plus, I've wasted some of your time. I'm going to give you some extra $500. Okay, so here's my offer. The Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan. It's listed and it's been purchased many times for $24.97. The core. Okay, the nuances I talked about and the monthly meeting. So that's the basic loaded gun and more, the simple trading plan. I'm going to help you with this one-on-one, unlimited one-on-one coaching for 90 days. Okay, it's got a $2,500 value. It's even more than that, really. I think if you limit it to 4 or 5 meetings, it would be that. But done for your setup. Okay, for your data feed and trading platform. I mentioned that I want to do that for you. Okay, it's actually $150. We've loaded it now to $150. I wanted it more accessible. So instead of $5,200, $51.47. But right now we're offering all of this except for the done for you setup. That's extra I'm putting into this presentation for Sherry. So $24.97. I want to give you 50% off, $1,247. All you need to do is go to theirmoneyyourprofit.com and use the coupon code today's date, June 5, June 5. It can be lower or uppercase, doesn't matter. And that will give you your discount to 50% off, okay? So you may be able to just click that and go right to the page. Otherwise, write it down or type it in if you get a browser. Yes?
Is the code, what do you call it? Do they need to put all caps in?
No, it can be either way. I mean, if it, no, it'll take a mix. It'll take all small. Test it out. But if it doesn't, use all caps if you want. But I think it'll take it. I think I typed it today all small and it took it. So not a problem. Again, if you've got any questions, I'm going to be on the chat. I wanted to honor the time for me. I knew I had a lot and to present. So I'm going to be on this page if you hop to it for the next hour on the lower right-hand corner.
There's a chat on the page. Good deal.
I'm sorry?
There's a chat on the page.
Yes, there's a chat on the page, so they can deal with me there. Again, let's do this together. Because of the calendar limitations, in other words, I got a calendar and I'm offering one-on-ones, it's going to get filled. And then I can't offer one-on-ones without having space. So because of the limitation of the calendar, this offer is available for the first 5 traders. Okay, first 5 traders. If you're the 6th trader, you'll get a little notice that wants to put you on the waiting list, which will be whenever that is. But right now, we have 5 solid spots for you. The first 5 get it. Okay, that is where I wanted to go with this. I really appreciate the opportunity, Sherry, to be with such a group of noted presenters.
That was Norman Hallett of the Disciplined Trader